Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Reynaldo Schelmetty and thank you for joining me for this wonderful video. Now you may be wondering what the heck is going on, and it's because I will be opening up Blender today, and you're probably wondering why. Or you know what? Instead of opening up Blender, I'll just open up my files. Let me go onto a file and show you guys something interesting. Right now you guys can't see that. Let's say I go into, I want to make sure you guys can't see certain things. Alright, so let's say that you have your files on your Mac, right? And you have a lot of Blender files, but for some odd reason, all of them show this freaking logo, the Blender logo. And I'm not gonna lie, I had this problem myself too, and I was really annoyed because I started using this Blender with not a uh, with not a Mac computer, but I started using it with a Windows computer. So having it be this way all of a sudden felt kind of weird. It felt out of place. Let me move this light out of there because my face is coming out kind of weird. Looking kind of weird, I mean. Yeah, that's better. So let's see if I could have like a better preview. So basically, they're gonna go from looking like this to looking more like this, where you can actually see a little thumbnail of whatever you worked on. These are some projects I worked on, so in the past when I was younger, but for some odd reason, this ones are even older, and that's why they're not showing up. But if you're working on recent projects and you want them to be able to be seen, I recommend checking this out. Let's go to my browser, and you gotta go to github.com slash vidco. You know what? I'll leave a link down below. You guys can check it out. But look up BlenderQuickLook version 0.1. Basically, is an Apple application, and this how it works. It basically uh, allows you to see your old Blender files or your Blender files with a thumbnail uh, on a Mac, which basically is very useful because I know for a fact when I was using my Mac for some odd reason, no matter how often I used it, I always saw the Blender logo, and I always wanted to see back the a little thumbnail of whatever I was working on in that project. Of course, they're not as good as the old ones from like Windows, but they're still a thumbnail, which is good. So let's go back to this, so you guys can check it out. It's gonna look like that. I can actually show you guys a different project I was working on at one point. Let's see, not casual drawings, but casual animations. I'll do this once for fun. And you see, this one is a Blender file. Also shows it to me. This one's a Blender file. This one I did for practice. I'll show it to you. It's not. It's no biggie. Let's see. Whenever it opens up, it's supposed to be done with what's it called? The oh, there it is. Now this was animated using Blender, obviously, but I was actually looking at a reference from an animation I was watching. So if you've seen this scene in one show, an animation that you've probably seen, you can kind of understand. See, so Blender definitely has potential to make it big. If I want, if you could, you basically draw it, you storyboard it, and you show it off. But anyways, the whole entire purpose of this was to show you guys that you can have thumbnails, right? I won't save this because I didn't do anything to it. And obviously this is a Blender file. So anyways, this is how you're gonna go about it. You first are gonna download this one right here, BlenderQuickLook .dmg. Now, I don't think you really need this ones, but just in case, download the source code or something like that. I have the source code, and I also got opened it up with what's it called, Xcode. So I went on Xcode, or on my other tab. Let me close out of this. Where's Xcode? For some odd reason, it's not showing up. Let me quit out of it and then open it back up. Basically, I go onto some like my most recent downloads. I think it was. New downloads. And a quick look. And then it should be opening up in this screen. Oh, but it opened up in the other one. So it looks like this Xcode, but I don't think you really need this. And for some odd reason, it gave me this error. BlenderQuickLook didn't want to work because it couldn't register. So I was massively confused. And I understand if you're in this stage and then you're really confused. Hey, I downloaded Xcode. Why does it not work? Why is it not working for me? What is this? Well, the person that created the BlenderQuickLook clearly was thinking ahead, because when they created this part of it, this BlenderQuickLook DMG, all you really need to do is download this, which after you click on it, it should show up over here on your downloads like that. Not exactly like this, but it'll look slightly different. And then afterwards, you go onto your files, which will be Finder. Let me go back to my other tab, right? So you go into your finders, and it's gonna be wherever you downloaded it at. Let's say that it'll be under downloads. So downloads, where's downloads? Documents. For some odd reason, I can't seem to find downloads. Whatever. So basically, you go wherever it downloaded at, and in my case, it would be under my terabyte, and under new downloads, and then it will be right here, or in the sense of this one, it will be opened up through here. So kind of like you go to this, and then it should be right there. I'll show you an example right now. I'll re-download it again just for you guys. I'll click, it downloads it, it sends it over here, right? It looks like this under quick look, and then over here in the files, it should have been showing up right there. Or I could double click it, right? And it says opening BlenderQuickLook .dmg, and then it's wondering what that is. And see, right here it shows up. You click on it, and it looks like this. This is what you're gonna be using. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm talking about. So it's gonna look like this in this file under the location things. You're gonna click on BlenderQuickLook, and it's gonna show up like this. What you're gonna do is take it from here and go onto your Macintosh, right? Your library, and then the quick look option, which would be, just scroll down a little, and then it should be somewhere in the center area, quick look, and then it will only have this one. I work that QL generator, which basically is the thing that allows your Mac to register images, kind of like if you have a .jpeg or PNG or anything like that. It's the thing that allows you to do that, so to see that. So like if I go to or videos, like for example, if I go to all brand new, and then it shows me a little thumbnail of my video, that's basically what that code does. It just shows you thumbnails of whatever you have. In my case, obviously videos and stuff. So you're gonna take this, and then you're gonna bring it over to where the quick look section is, where Macintosh slash library and everything is at, just as instructed in the instructions that it gives you right when you download what's it called, the one of the files. Basically, when you download this file right here, source code, the zip, it usually shows you different things. Let me see if I can find it right here. So it's gonna look like this inside, and then you just gotta go to readme. It's gonna open up Xcode, I think. It opens it up, and then it's gonna look just like this. And then it tells you the instructions and everything like that. But one of the things that's important about it is that right here when it tells you installation, it tells you to run all the process through Xcode, right? But then it tells you wait until the next quick look service gets refreshed and the thumbnail should appear or something like that. But basically all you really need to do is follow the steps. Copy the file to the file that I was talking about, the BlenderQuickLook dot DMG, DMG, and then you take that file and then bring it over to QuickLook, just like I did. Now you may be wondering, why didn't that not work? I refreshed it by going all the way over here, looking up what's it called, what is said to look up, manually refresh using terminal. So you go onto terminal, right? So you click here, look up terminal, terminal app. You go onto terminal, right? And then you refresh it or something. You command and then it refreshes it, and then you're like, but that didn't work. Why are my things not showing up still? So this is the reason why they're not showing up. What you really need to do right after you put it here is just like hide all this stuff. You don't really need that. Go onto your settings, and then you go onto security and privacy, right? And then right here in the bottom, it should tell you, hey, BlenderQuickLook thing doesn't want to work. I allow it so it accesses your stuff. And then you say yes. And then it takes you through some process where you have to accept it, obviously. And you have to make sure it's unlocked. Because if it's not unlocked, then you won't do it. So remember your password and stuff. So you unlock it, then you put it in and then accept it. And then afterwards, then it should work for you. And that's pretty much it. After that, you could go into your files and exit out of all of this stuff. Go into here, click this, and then eject BlenderQuickLook. Basically, because right now it's not actually downloaded. It's more like if you put it onto like a CD or something like that. I don't know why, but it is like that. So you eject it, and then you go on to whatever things you wanted to do. So let's say that you go onto your files, which in my case most of them will be in my terabyte, because I don't like using space on my computer, since it barely has enough space to hold up anything without me having to pay iCloud, which I don't want to pay iCloud. I'd rather just pay $50 one time and then not have to worry about it forever. Or for a very long time, compared to pay iCloud like $9, $20 a year's not a year, like a couple months in a row, just to have more space on my computer. By the way, that's how Apple gets you. Anyways, so you do all this, and then you go onto your Blender work or whatever. Or in my case, if I wanted to create a new file, let's say I go into Blender, right? Let me close out of all of this stuff, because I don't really need all of this anymore. Quit, and quit this too. So I go into Blender, right? Click on it. Open it up here. Hopefully it opens up properly. Let me clear this out. And I'm gonna exit out of my my website page. Now mine is my Blender opens up through Steam. Yeah, Steam. So I have to make sure the Steam's open first for some odd reason. then Steam opens over here, and then I just go onto, make sure I go to the library and then launch it from there, or you know, I could just click here again and it should launch. Yeah, it should start it up. Now for some odd reason it turned dark. I don't know why, but it is doing that. So it turned dark, and the app should be opening up soon. So let's say that you create something like, for example, I create, let's create some masterpiece. Edit mode, extrude, rotate it on the side. And then scale that in, extrude it, and then scale it in, extrude, scale it in, extrude, extrude, scale, scale on the Z, no, Y, so it looks more like a square, extrude, extrude. I'm doing like some sort of building. So this is what we got so far, right? Like this really nice, really crappy masterpiece, right? And then afterwards, what we're gonna do is, let's see from the camera view. Let's move this camera out. So press N, I think it was, and then under tool, edit, tools, workspace, no, item. Oh, let's go back to object mode. Camera to view, zoom out of it a little, you know. You can position it in whatever way that you want. I kind of like it like that. Looks nice. I don't know. I'm positioning the camera, but I don't think that really matters. And then afterwards, I just go File, Save, Save As, because you always gotta save your work. Make sure you always save your work. And then this time, I'm gonna save it under, let's say, my 1 TB thing. So 1 TB, and I'll just save it right there under my 1 TB. And what should we call it? Test for thumbnail. That's thumbnail. I think I spelled that right. I could have spelled it wrong. Let me know in the comments if I spelled that wrong. And then save as that. And then it should save it as that. And then you can exit out of it after it has saved that. Save it as a thumbnail. And you know, put that like this. And then when I go into my files again, right there it is. Test for a thumbnail. And it has a thumbnail. Now I want to make sure that that's a little bit more big. So show view options, and then I'm gonna make sure that this thing is scaled up a little so you guys can kind of see. And if I do this also, no, not that. It'll be, what's it? This list, column, galley. Okay. You can kind of like scroll through them, and then at some point you get to see it, right? And if you click it, it gives you a low resolution version of whatever you had rendered out, or not rendered out, more like what you had on the project. So if this was helpful, you know, let me know. I know it's a very low resolution of whatever you were supposed to be doing, but whenever you are working in like icons or something like that, and then you see something like this, and you know exactly what that is. And that's the whole entire point. It's not supposed to be like super high resolution, because then it's gonna take up more space. to have a much more high resolution image being used. But the idea that you're using some sort of image there is good. Anyways, if this was useful for you guys, let me know down in the comments below. I noticed that I didn't see any videos like this on YouTube or anything like that. I hope that this was super helpful, and I know I don't make videos like this, so don't expect me to make more like this. I just thought this would be useful for you guys. Anyways, goodbye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, consider subscribing or leaving a like. And check out those videos if you enjoyed and stood until the end. Thank you and goodbye.